You see that statement that they make and they tell you that life begins at 40. That is the biggest scam in the history of scams. I really don't know who started that, but if that's what you have been believing, then I'm hoping that this video will change your mind, because these four things, you have to learn them before you turn 40. And if you're already 40, I'm sure you can relate. So watch till the end and grab this. If you're not 40 yet, learn this and learn this before you turn 40. And if you're 40, drop in the comments if you have other things you wish others can learn before they turn 40. Please drop it in the comments. Okay. Hello, Mumsies. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if this is the first time you are seeing me, my name is Lady Teresa, aka the Money Goddess. I help African moms in Canada create, design, and actually manifest their ideal lives while living here in Canada. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you, thank you, thank you. I do not take your love for granted. I do not take it for granted. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now let's get on to the topic of today. We are talking about the four money lessons that you must learn before you turn 40. In fact, if you are less than 30, tell yourself you have to learn these money lessons before you turn 30. Okay, because what you do with this lesson will turn things around for you. All right, let's get started. The first lesson, I want you to stop cutting costs and start earning more income. Okay, now let me explain. I am not saying people should not cut costs. I am not saying that, oh, you should live above your means or anything like that. But my question is, how much cost do you want to cut? I see people make posts like, oh, when you're buying Starbucks, you're buying coffee, you're paying for Netflix and all that. Okay, you have come to Canada, you have cut everything. You're not watching Netflix, you're not drinking coffee. Tell me, are you still going to become financially free? Answer that question. Just say the truth. I want you to get a piece of paper. Start writing all those costs that you are going to cut. Write all those costs that you are going to cut. Write it at the end of the month. Honestly, is that what you need to become financially free? Really? Is that really what you need to become financially free? So that's why I'm saying, leave cutting costs. There's so much cost you can cut. After all the stress, are you saying you're not come home and watch TV again? You know, after all that you have gone through, after the stress of coming to this country, you still don't want to enjoy yourself? So instead of looking at cutting costs, I want you to look at making more money. I want you to look at earning more income, because earning more income is easier than cutting costs. If you look at a lot of financial problems that you have, just list out your financial problems, put a money to it, put an amount to it, and I tell you, what is the easiest way to achieve that financial goal? Is it by cutting costs, or is it by earning more income? Maybe you look at the gap. You have a gap, and the gap is like maybe $1,000. That is like, if you can get $1,000 right now, you know, you'll be able to live a particular kind of life, or you'll be able to do a certain thing. If you start cutting costs, can you really cut costs up to $1,000? Really, really? Can you really cut costs up to $1,000? Or why not look at an option where you can earn extra income? And when you earn extra income, it's easier. You still get to live a beautiful life. You still get to live a joyful life. You will still live a rich life. You will still have fun without suffering yourself, all in the name of cutting costs. All right? So please learn this lesson. Learn it, learn it, learn it. Stop cutting costs and start looking for how to earn more income. All right? Now to the number 2 lesson I want you to learn before you turn 40. And if you're less than 30, like I said, learn this before you even turn 30. The number 2 lesson is make compound interest your friend. Make compound interest your friend. If you're watching me now, I want you to ask yourself a question. How long have you been working? Or how long have you been earning income? How long have you been earning income? Take your mind back. And I want you to ask yourself, what if you were taking out $100 or even $50 for the number of times you have been earning income consistently on a monthly basis? Imagine if you were taking out $50 or $100, or maybe you were earning well and you were taking out $200 to $500 consistently, and you were not leaving it in your savings account. See, this is a topic for another day that we're going to talk about. But let's continue. You weren't leaving it in a savings account. You put it in an investment platform vehicle that compounded, over the next 10 years, over the next 20 years, over the next 15 years. Some of us have worked 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. We have nothing to show for it. Why? Because we did not make compound interest our best friend. Make compound interest your best friend, and you realize that you don't really need to work as hard as you are working. The problem is not just earning income. The problem is how much of that can you keep? And it is not keeping it in a storage account. We should actually stop calling that in savings account. It is not just keeping it in a storage account, but putting it, sending it on errand, let it come back. And not just come back, but let it come back with brothers and sisters and cousins. Trust me, if you understand the power of compound interest, you would never make that mistake anymore. So don't wait until you're 40 before you learn this lesson. Make compound interest your best friend starting from today. You see that money that is left in your account. You see that balance that is in your account. Go and find a place to move it. Put it there. Put it there and do not come to it unless it's life and death. If you're in a financial situation, go and look for how to make money. Go and look for something you will do real quick and earn income. Move that money now. Put it in a place and let compound interest do its work. And be putting it like that every month, every month, every month. For the next 5, 10, 15 years, it will amaze you what that little drop of water would become. All right? So learn that lesson today. Now, my number 3 lesson. This lesson, I feel like is even the most important because it is this, because of this lesson, that's why a lot of people don't even take any form of action. Because of this particular lesson, that is why people would rather cut cost than earn more income because of this particular lesson. And that lesson is that it is okay to make money mistakes. It is okay to make money mistakes. There is there's this documentary, I think it was, what's his name? This sales guy, forgotten his name now. I'll link it up and you'll see. This guy, they took all his money and they put him somewhere, in a place where he doesn't know anybody, and they took all his money, right? Guess what? He still built a business and he still made millions. So money is not the problem. It's okay to make money mistakes. Money comes and goes. But that lesson you will learn from that mistake would help you more than the money you hold to yourself because you don't want to make a mistake. So I want you to learn this. I want you to learn this now. And it's good to make all those mistakes early. One thing that has helped me in life is I made a lot of mistakes, money mistakes in my 20s. Because it is at this age now that I'm seeing people who are turning 40 making some mistakes that I made in my 20s, that there is no how I'll be making that mistake right now. But that's when they are making that mistake. So don't be that person who says, I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to put it in a place where, I don't want this. Use your 20s and 30s and make all the mistakes you can make. All right. It is okay to make money mistakes. You can make those money mistakes and you will still turn out all right. In fact, most people that have turned out successful, most people that have turned out wealthy are people who made a lot of money mistakes. All right. So please don't wait until you're old and you start calling it midlife crisis and you start making some mistakes that you should have made in your 20s and 30s. Okay. So start looking at opportunities. Yes. Take calculated risk, but it's still a risk. Do not spend so much time on that decision, all right? And now to the final lesson. This lesson, the day I learned this lesson, I feel like that's when I became the money goddess, because a lot of people do not know this. And what is that lesson? Time is more expensive than money. Yes, time is more expensive than money. Time should be more valuable to you than money. Let's take our mind back again. Let's go back to the first one where I said, how much cost can you really cut? Truly, how much cost can you cut? This is what a lot of people do. People prefer to spend time rather than money, and they don't see it as something bad. They would rather spend time rather than money. You have something that you want to achieve, and you know that all you have to do is to spend a little money. Or even if it's a lot of money, you shall spend that money and you will get that result. You know what some people will do? They will keep that money and they will start spending time. They will start saying they want to do it by themselves. They would use a whole lot of time to learn that thing. Let me take you back again. I'm not saying do not learn. I'm not saying we shouldn't learn new things. But if there's one thing that works for me in life more than anything else, is that you should always strive to be better. Don't strive to be good. Strive to be better. What does that mean? Look for the things that you're already good at and be better at it. Invest in being better at it. But what a lot of people do is they want to be good. And so they are investing a lot of time to be good. When you invest a lot of time to be good, you're not going to bring out excellent product. You're not going to bring out something that makes sense, because it's going to take you a longer time to now become better. If you have the money to get better, use that money and buy better rather than spending time to become good. All right. So that is the final lesson. And I feel like this one is even the most important lesson when it comes to money. That is one money lesson that you shouldn't joke with. Unfortunately, a lot of us are joking with that lesson, especially living in Canada. DIY, DIY, I want to do it by myself. And you end up doing mediocre stuff. Instead of spending money, when you spend money to get something good, when you spend money to get something excellent, you are saving time, and you can use that time and invest it to make more money and put it into something that will give you more money, so that you will stop cutting unnecessary costs, so that you will still end up living an amazing life. All right. On this note, I really, really hope that you can take this seriously. Write it down. Ask yourself, where am I lacking? Ask yourself, which one of these lessons have I not learned? And learn it today and decide and commit to do better. All right. So here you have it. In summary, I want to remind you again, please learn these 4 lessons before you turn 40. In fact, before you turn 30. If possible, learn it before you even turn 20, because it would make you a wiser person. If you don't learn these lessons, you'll be in your 40s and you'll be calling someone who's in their 20s or 10, yes, ma, yes, sir, sorry, ma, sorry, sir. And I'm sure you don't want it. Okay, so to summarize, number 1, stop cutting costs unnecessarily and start looking for how to save, or start looking for how to earn more income. Okay, number 2, compound interest is your best friend. Make it your best friend. Number 3, it is okay to make money mistakes. You will not die. Make that mistake as early as possible, so that you don't start making mistakes at old age and calling it midlife crisis. Okay. And lastly, time is more expensive than money. Time is more valuable than money. All right. I hope you found value in this. If you love this, then you should consider clicking the subscribe button. You should also consider joining that community of African moms in Canada. The link is in the description. Just click that and you will join our community where we connect, we learn from each other, we help each other, we celebrate our wins, and it keeps us accountable in this journey that we are in. All right. So thank you for stopping by, and see you next time. Ciao.